Hello everyone, how are you today? In this video, I'm going to share you my opinion about the approaches and methods in language teaching that I have been studying during these weeks in the subject of Teaching Strategies 2. So, let's start. The first one is total physical response. My opinion about this method is that it's so useful for students to acquire the L2 English language, and also is a very active way where teachers use their bodies to have language body conversations with children. I use it when there is a lot of noisy disorder or indiscipline in my classroom, and I can say that it works. So I recommend you to use it in your classes. The second one is the silent way. My opinion about this method is that it is very visual and dynamic, so a student can acquire the language being in contact with physical objects and charts that they can manipulate, and also playing music. I want to say that I like to do this kind of activities, but at the same time I don't like them because I need a teacher who is explaining me the topic. So this method, the teacher speaks as little as possible. The third one is community language learning. I think that this method is more like having a psychological teacher that helps and guides students in their problems of their daily lives, and at the same time teacher helps students to interact with the community and practice the language, in which is interesting and cool. The fourth one is Suggestopedia. My opinion about this method is that it's relaxed and interesting for students, so they can learn through very funny ways, something out of the ordinary. I think it will be interesting to apply this method in my classes. And something that I want to say is that I like this method because students don't feel stressed in the classroom when they are learning the foreign language. The next one is the whole language. My opinion is that this approach is so useful for students because they learn the language in a real context and they practice it with the writing and reading skills. I like this approach because I love to read. Another one is the multiple intelligences. I think this method is so useful for teachers know about their group profile, and in this way teachers can plan better their classes to obtain effective outcomes in their classrooms. So each student has different abilities to acquire the knowledge. Neurolinguistic programming. I think it is an interesting and relaxed activity because students use their five senses to think about their experiences, and also it will help them to reflect on themselves. The lexical approach. I think every day I apply this approach when I give vocabulary to students related with any topic. It is useful because I use vocabulary of the daily life. For example, if I want to plan a listening activity about food, I will give my students vocabulary related with food. The last one. Competency-based language teaching. I think it is important and useful for both the teacher and the student in order to see a student's needs, weaknesses, and strengths, and also to analyze and evaluate teachers' performance or work. I mean, if the classes worked or not. One example of this are oral presentations at the end of the unit. Well, that's all for me. Thanks for your attention. See you in the next video. Bye!